I think most people get really annoyed when the enemy team plays a little too passively and campy in D2. I've been wanting to make a vid on this build for a long time, but always ended up getting sidetracked by, I don't know, something. And while we're currently in that hashtag content lull while we wait for season 19, figured why not show it off now? In a rare moment for me, I'll be showing you a hunter build. Yes, you heard that right. A goddamn hunter build. The build features what I think is an extremely underappreciated exotic, which not only is easy to activate, but wildly satisfying and very effective at effing up people who like to camp and chill in the back. Cherry on top, there's an updated toy in the sandbox that can make the build extra fun. But before we get into that, shout out to Pinecone Research. They're the sponsor of today's video. Do you spend way too much of your own personal time just doom scrolling on social media? Why not be paid to take surveys or online studies instead? Enter Pinecone Research. They are a unique invite-only website, so they have exclusive opportunities and a guaranteed payout amount for every task you complete. For just taking a few straightforward surveys and minutes of your time, you can literally be rewarded with cash and gift cards. That is way more productive than just getting wrapped up in whatever dumb online argument on Twitter you were going to waste time with instead. There's even opportunities to test and review products. With inflation on everyone's mind, Pinecone is a top-tier life hack and side hustle. My link is your ticket in, so don't wait. Scroll down to the comment section now before you forget and hit my unique link to sign up and start earning today. You will be glad you did, and thank you, Pinecone Research. All right, back to the content. Let me introduce you to the crown jewel of the build. Meet Arthur. Technically the Athrys Embrace, but that's a dumb name and I hate it, so I call it Arthur. Arthur does not get enough respect, and if you haven't used it in a while, or God forbid, ever, today, I'm gonna try to change your mind. With Arthur, your weighted knife gets both a second wall bounce, and rapid headshots with your weapon will give your weighted knife a beefy damage improvement as well. Why don't we talk about that second part first? Rapid headshots power up your knife with a lot more damage. An extra 100% actually, meaning that when Arthur is turned on, a weighted knife making contact with any part of the enemy body will result in a kill. Hit them in the leg, kill. Hit them right in the ass, kill. It really is terrific. It'll take a few weapon headshots before Arthur wakes up, and because that is the case, I feel like we want weapons that have high-ish rate of fire but are still relatively accurate. IMO, rapidish fire pulse rifles are by far and away the best pairing. One headburst equals 3 precision shots, and with just a few pulls of the trigger and one regular pulse rifle kill, you can get close to 30 seconds of one-hit kill knife time on your enemy. Plenty of time to wait for the right moment and get your magic knife out there onto the battlefield. Now, you might be saying to me, hey, Fallout, I mean, that's nice and all, but I play D2 on my couch with my TV up so high on the goddamn wall, I might as well be at the dentist's office, and I ain't really good at aiming my knives. Well, now would be a really great time to talk about Arthur's first feature, the second wall bounce. At first glance, who really cares? Most OG knife chuckers go for the direct knife tag anyway, but that second wall bounce is borderline guided by the right hand of the devil himself. Let me show you what I mean. My friend is around the corner. I even have him strafing back and forth repeatedly to make him a harder target for my knife to hit. All you have to do is make sure your knife hits 2 surfaces while heading vaguely in the direction of an enemy, and boom, dead guardian. The knife tracking on the wall bounce is dummy good. You pretty much get all the fun of being Captain America, but with a knife instead of a shield, which sounds more fun to me anyway. Here's a first-person POV of my friend chucking an Arthur knife at me. I'm gonna slow the footage way down. Look how ridiculous this is. It's like the knife is homing in right at me, even when I'm trying to move a little bit away. By the way, I know I'm out here describing an old exotic like it's brand freaking new, but I really think a lot of people haven't touched Arthur in a dog's age, or at the very least don't know how stupid good its potential can be. If you know where enemies most frequently hang out on the map, or if you just see red on your radar, throwing a vague, lazy knife in that general direction will frequently result in a free kill. IMO about 90% of the time is the following. You want to go floor to wall, i.e. throw the knife so it will hit the floor and then immediately bounce up into the wall. Do that in any area where you see red on the radar around a corner. If you get nothing, you haven't really wasted anything because you weren't really putting yourself in danger to begin with. And if you get a kill, hey, free kill. One map in particular where I highly recommend using Arthur, if it happens to be the weekly trials map, Wormhaven. Stop me if this sounds familiar. Your team and the other team just staring at each other through the big glass window on Wormhaven in a good old-fashioned standstill. Well, Arthur ain't got time for that shit. Either bounce it on the floor to wall combo or just throw it right at the wall and get a free kill. Remember, if you have on the Gambler's Dodge, you can get real close to the wall, dodge, and if you're near enough to the enemy, you can get your knife charge back immediately, even if you can't see them. I'll show you my Hunter build on how you can really go all in on making sure you always have your juiced up knife ready to go. But real quick, why don't we talk about weapons? Again, I think the quicker firing pulse rifles are the way to go in terms of powering up your knife. However, SMGs can also get the job done for sure, provided that you're relatively accurate. I wouldn't go with hand cannons or scout rifles, and while you can get the job done with an auto rifle, I wouldn't really recommend it. We're not exactly in an auto rifle meta right now, thank God. Here's a few key weapon perks that really work well with this build. If you're looking to somehow pump up your damage output, IMO, you got two options: Swashbuckler and Golden Tricorn. Why don't we talk about Golden Tricorn first, which is a wild option if you manage to ramp it up. Here is the 3-step playbook with Tricorn. 1. Get a kill with a solar weapon that has the perk Golden Tricorn on it. Now that the Tricorn damage perk has been activated. Step 2, get an Arthur knife kill before the Tricorn timer runs out. Step 3, free the beast with your solar weapon, which will now have a plus 50% damage output for the next 10 seconds. With Festival of the Lost, Bungie has now given us the only solar pulse rifle in the game to drop with Golden Tricorn, Jurassic Green. Getting the damage ramped all the way up with Tricorn will allow you to get a kill with just 2 pulls of the trigger. Really insane for a rapid-fire frame rifle. Anybody unlucky enough to get caught off guard with Golden Jurassic Green is going to be confused AF when you hit them with a 0.47-second time to kill. I've gotten some good clips with my green, but nothing really tops the one I saw from my buddy True Vanguard on Twitter. Again, not always easy to activate with the 3-step process. You have to move kind of quickly, but when you do pull it off, dear lord. Swashbuckler is the much safer, slower play. You can be a little bit more patient with your Arthur knife timer, wait for the right moment, and whenever you throw a magic knife and get a kill, use your Swashbuckler activated weapon and rip through the other team. Drang is currently laughing all the way to the bank in the new sidearm meta, and it has the option to be crafted with Swashbuckler if you were wondering. If you don't want to go damage output, you can always go the path of get more ability energy for free. Pugilist and Wellspring are both great options that will help you get your knife back quicker across the board. Also, any weapon with the right hook origin trait would benefit a lot from being paired together with Arthur. The following might sound really dumb, but my favorite weapon pairing for the Arthur build, no joke, Peace of Mind and the Devil's Ruin. Yeah, you heard me, a double primary build. But Devil's Ruin is really a special weapon masquerading as a primary. Trust me, it goes really hard. But if you want to go in further to punishing players who like to either camp or hide around corners, Witherhoard is a really fun pairing for Jurassic Green. Between Witherhoard and the Arthur knife, players can't just be guaranteed insta-safe by corner camping. Okay, armor-wise, I want to go in for really high strength and good mobility. In theory, you could just dump everything into mobility and just rely on your Gambler's Dodge alone to get your knife back, but that's kind of risky. I prefer higher strength. If you don't want to get too near the other team to trigger your Gambler's Dodge, you could put on double outreach onto your class armor. That way, anytime you dodge at all, whether you're alone or near the other team, you get a chunk of melee energy back for free. Melee kickstart would be great to put onto your gauntlets. Get a free chunk of melee energy back just for throwing your knife. Hands on your helmet if you can afford it, definitely a good call. Get a little chunk of super energy for free every time you tag an enemy with a magic Arthur knife, which again, ain't that hard. Aspect wise, I'm going to highly recommend putting on Knock 'em Down. When Radiant final blows with your throwing knife, fully refund your melee energy. Pair that together with Ember of Torches, which makes you radiant when using a powered melee attack. If you have both on together, here is what happens. Power up your Arthur knife, then throw it for a kill. Ember of Torches makes you radiant from the melee attack, and then Knock 'em Down will immediately refund your melee energy. Great combo. I know you might be thinking, well then why do you need strength at all? I feel you, but it is possible to throw and whiff your knife, so high strength can help you get it back if you whiff. As long as you have Ember of Torches on, might as well also put on Ember of Solace for longer radiant duration. IMO, those are kind of the only mandatory aspect and fragments for the build. Gunpowder Gamble is definitely fun, and it can help you continue to punish players who like to hide around corners. However, I kinda much prefer On Your Mark because it gives you 3 fragment slots. That way I can put on other fragments that maybe aren't vital to the build, but they do give me an extra stat bump, which is cool. If you've tinkered around with Arthur before and have a build that you think works really well, I would love to hear about it down in the comment section. Again, my favorite pairing is probably Devil's Ruin and Peace of Mind, but you might as well farm for Golden Tricorn Jurassic Green while you can. Tag me with your best knife ricochet clips on Twitter. I legit never ever get tired of watching them. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on stream.